Greetings, 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 good people. Thanks for clicking on the video. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is February 10th, the year is 2026. Happy Black History Month, okay? How y'all enjoying y'all Black History Month so far, okay? All right, so it is Tuesday. A full day has passed after the Super Bowl, so everybody has gotten their opinions in, everyone's sharing their thoughts, and I'm going to share mine. All right, so that's one of the topics that I'm going to get into. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought of Bad Bunny's performance. Okay, all right, and also please be sure to pay your admission fee by liking the video. All right, so without further ado, let's get straight into these topics. First up is Netflix versus YouTube. I didn't know that there was a beef, but apparently not a beef, but a friendly competition, but there is. So I thought that this tidbit was very interesting. So YouTube has officially crossed a major milestone. Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, disclosed that the platform generated more than $60 billion in total revenue in 2025, making the first time YouTube's full earnings, including ads and subscriptions, have been publicly broken out. So that puts YouTube ahead of Netflix because you know that they're competing. Some shows and some podcasts officially left YouTube and they took their show on the road over there to Netflix. So this is an interesting statistic that's being revealed to the public. Anyway, that puts YouTube ahead of Netflix, which reported about 45.18 billion in revenue for the same year, though the two operate very different business models. So YouTube's revenue comes largely from advertising along with YouTube Premium and other subscriptions, while Netflix relies almost entirely on paid memberships. All right. And the people are complaining about Netflix's monthly fees raising higher than gas prices during the Bush administration. All right. So in the fourth quarter alone, YouTube brought in 11.38 billion in ad revenue, underscoring the platform's dominance in digital advertising. Shorts now sees an estimated 200 billion daily views. And podcast watch time on TVs reportedly reached 700 million hours in October 2025. So looking ahead, Alphabet says that it plans to invest up to $185 billion in 2026 with a heavy focus on AI tools for creators and improving content quality across YouTube and its broader ecosystem. So will the payout for some of us YouTubers be higher? That's what I want to know. So listen, YouTube is the second largest search engine. Google is the first. Who owns YouTube? Google. I don't think that YouTube is going anywhere anytime soon, and I don't think that Netflix will be able to knock YouTube off of its throne. I highly doubt that. A lot of people watch YouTube. A lot of people say that there isn't enough content on Netflix to keep them engaged or remain subscribed. So we should definitely see what is going to transpire in the future. But I thought that that was very interesting that YouTube was so transparent with putting out their information, their revenue, so on and so forth. Yeah. So, all right, moving along. Sherri Shepherd. You guys know that it was reported last week that the Sherri Shepherd show has been canceled. They're blaming, in a statement, Debmar-Mercury and them are blaming budgeting. Okay, there isn't enough money, so they claim. They said that it has nothing to do with ratings or anything like that. Well, Sherri Shepherd said that she's not ready to throw in the towel after her talk show is canceled and promises to fight to keep the show alive in some way. So this is an interesting take. Let's take a look and a listen to what Sherri had to say. Like to hear? Here you go.
A hard morning for all of us here at Sherri. And I know that you have seen the news, and I'm ready to address it. Our show has not been renewed for another season. And I want to I want to say to y'all, everybody, y'all try not to faint or fall out because healthcare is expensive and none of us have it anymore. So y'all don't fall out. But I have to say, in thinking about it, I'm truly overwhelmed by the outpouring of love that I have received from all of you. So from the audience to everybody on social media, to people who stop me in the store and still talk to me, despite me not having a wig on, they still talk to me. From the emails and the texts, the messages, I feel every bit of the love that you've been sending to me. And thank you so much. And this is a hard. Thank you. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for welcoming me into your homes every single day. I want to thank you for laughing and crying with us. Thank you for supporting my unhealthy obsession with Lenny Kravitz. But I got to tell you, when I first started, the show was built on one thing, and what I wanted it built on was joy. Joy. The intention of this show was always was my prayer for you to leave happier than when you came. And you know this, I've talked about this. It has been my dream to have a talk show. And I'm so grateful I got the chance to do it for 4 seasons. But I want to be clear. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on this show just yet. I'm not. We're going to be airing episodes all through the fall, and we're going to continue to fight to keep the show alive in some way, shape, or form. Yes. Now, if anybody knows me, they know I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. Now, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I promise I will continue to spread joy. And I just got a message. I got a message to all of my guests that are coming to the show from now on. Please don't be trying nothing crazy on the show. I don't want you coming and talking about you in solidarity. You want to run across the stage naked. My supervisor and producer, Norman Baker, he said he's got plans on streaking on the last day. I want security to watch Norman Baker because I don't want to see all of that. My best friend, Kim Whitley, says she's bringing an empty suitcase so she can steal stuff from the green room. She says she's got dibs on all Whoopi's shoes in the room. Security, I need you to watch her too. And I got no problem turning Kim Whitley into the authorities. So I'm saying to all of my guests, don't come here committing petty crimes. But what we will do is we will continue to have a good time. And I just want to thank you because my staff and my crew, that is what we're all about. Making sure from the moment you walk in and turn me on, you are having a good time. Because like your favorite auntie, I'm here to make you laugh, get in your business. He said,
Okay, Sherry. I mean, she had to say something. But as far as fighting to keep the show alive, I don't think that that's your call. These comments are absolutely positively shady. Someone said the only thing keeping Jay Hudson's show is the Soul Train line. Oh my God. Someone said I seen one episode of Sherry and that was it. Her show is boring. I miss Wendy. Someone else wrote, no, just bow out gracefully, man. We good. Honestly, I'm surprised it lasted this long. Someone said, get a podcast. She already established. She don't need the network. Mm, she has a podcast with Kim Whitley, her friend. Two Funny Mamas, I think that's, or yeah, Two Funny Mamas, I think that's what it's called. So I don't know how that is doing. Someone else wrote, they see Wendy getting back healthy. Y'all know what that mean. You know, it's really crazy how we all are really still hanging on to the hope that Wendy Williams is coming back to daytime television. I think Wendy wants to come back to daytime television, but I don't think it's unless she does a complete 180. And listen, I'm a firm believer that anything is possible. Okay. So if she does a complete 180 and she comes back better than ever, then yes. But if she remains in the same mental and physical state that she is in now, getting better, but still, not Wendy, then I just don't think it's a good look for her to come back. Everybody's talking about Wendy. I didn't know that Norman remained on the show all this time. Interesting. Her crew, huh? So she said that she's going to fight to keep the show alive. Again, like I said, I don't think that that's necessarily her call. I think that's totally up to production and the networks. Sherri Shepherd show podcast, she might move to YouTube only. Who knows? That is still going to require production. So we shall see. I think she's just saying that to kind of lighten the blow, because I do think that it was a gut punch to her. She might not have been expecting that. But Debmar-Mercury has been shady ever since Auntie Wendy has been on there. So, someone else in the comments wrote that they didn't like the fact that how she took over. It seemed like she backdoored Wendy Williams. So, you drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. All right, up next, moving along. So, Bad Bunny performs at the NFL, the Super Bowl halftime show. Okay, and there were a lot of people who shared their opinions. Chris Brown being one of them. He tweeted or posted to Instagram, I think it's safe to say they need me. All right. So everyone felt like he was referring to Bad Bunny's performance at the Super Bowl, right? Now, some new evidence has been circulating online stating that Chris Brown was actually referring to Jay Z or responding to Jay Z, because Jay Z was selling merch that says "The game needs me." Okay, that's one of his lines from one of his rap songs. Um, and this is Chris Brown's response. Now, even if that is true, that he is responding to Jay Z's line from his song on a T-shirt that he's selling as merch, it's still a hit toward Bad Bunny. Now, I thought that Bad Bunny and Chris Brown were cool. They may still be, but we all know that Jay Z and Chris Brown are not cool. And I think that as long as Jay Z is in charge of the halftime show for the NFL, Chris Brown is never going to be at the Super Bowl. That's my opinion. That could change. Jay Z could change his mind, and I don't think any amount of public outcry is going to make Jay Z change his mind. In fact, it's going to make him not do it, just to keep people talking, I guess, or just to prove he's in charge and he runs things. Anyway, let's go back. Okay, so Mace, he shared his opinion on his podcast. So let's take a look and a listen to what Mace had to say. Like to hear it? Here it go.
Comparison to all of the people that have gone before. To me, it looks like the NFL is getting worse each year in their performance. That's for me as a performer. Thinking of a performance, if I had a budget to do a Super Bowl, you could do a greater show. I just think of that, like you said, I had the privilege of seeing Purple Rain. I had the privilege of seeing Michael Jackson, and I'm just a person for excellence. So I think Chris Brown is way overdue. I don't know how everybody feel about Chris Brown personally, but Chris Brown is way overdue. So when I look at the Super Bowl, I think the person who should be performing is the person that nobody is better than. And I could think of several artists that could have done a better job. But shout out to Bad Bunny and the entire Latin community. I would give this a 4. I would give it a 4. It pales in comparison to all.
Okay, so that's Mace's opinion, and everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? I really wish that people would stand in solidarity. More people would stand in solidarity with Bad Bunny and his mission to bring forth a message while being entertaining. But I think that this year the message was way more important. Last year, Kendrick Lamar definitely had a message as well. I do think that Kendrick Lamar was also entertaining as well. Um, but everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I get it. Everybody is promoting for Chris Brown to be at the Super Bowl, and the part that sucks, and I don't disagree with them. He definitely should be at the Super Bowl, but why are we not promoting the Breezy Bowl more? I said this before when Boosie posted a tweet, I think it was a week ago, where he said that Chris Brown is long overdue and it ain't right and he deserves to perform at the Super Bowl. But why not promote Breezy Bowl? Why not make the Breezy Bowl like maybe every 2 years? I mean, he can go on tour every year if he chooses to, but that may be a bit much. But why not promote something like the Breezy Bowl, where he can bring artists with him like he did recently? Why do we have to beg to be on the NFL's platform when Chris Brown was extremely successful with his tour, the Breezy Bowl? No one was promoting that. I didn't see Mace promote that. He could have. I don't watch his podcast with Cameron often enough to know if he promoted the Breezy Bowl. Why weren't I mean some artists attended the Breezy Bowl. And I did mention this in my commentary about this before previously, when Tyler Perry stated that if they won't give us a seat at their table, we basically create our own table. We build our own table. And that's exactly what Chris Brown did with the Breezy Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I would have liked to have seen people promote the Breezy Bowl more instead of just saying the same thing over and over again. Chris Brown needs to perform at the NFL. So then why aren't you guys approaching Jay-Z and pressuring Jay-Z to have Chris Brown at the Super Bowl? Dr. Dre was there, and we know his history. If you don't know, look it up. Okay, a lot of people feel like Chris Brown doesn't deserve to be at the Super Bowl because of his past. Well, look at Dr. Dre's past. He ain't no different. Okay, but yeah, put the pressure on. Don't take away from what Bad Bunny did. You know what I'm saying? Put the pressure on Jay-Z, but a lot of y'all won't, a lot of them in the rap game won't speak up and say anything bad about Jay-Z because they might be afraid that some of their opportunities may be blocked or taken away. As long as Jay-Z is in control of who the entertainment for the halftime show, Chris Brown is not going to be performing at the Super Bowl. And that's because of Jay-Z. So why y'all not putting pressure on Jay-Z? I would like to see Chris Brown perform at the Super Bowl. However, I like seeing clips from the Breezy Bowl. That's his. No one can take that away from him. So why not just promote Breezy Bowl more? Forget the Super Bowl. But anyway, he gave Bad Bunny a 4, and it's just unfortunate. He's receiving a lot of criticism when he really, really had a strong message. And because of the times that we're in, some of the things that everybody in this country and in other countries are enduring at the hands of this current administration. Yes, entertainment is at the forefront, but we are in some serious times. When Beyonce performed, she had a message in her music. Kendrick Lamar, he had a message in his music and in his performance, and Bad Bunny did the same. I hear so many, I didn't understand a word they said. Okay, great. You don't know Spanish. And so what? Representation is extremely important. And the way he always reps for Puerto Rico, for his island, baby, trust me, I respect it and I appreciate it. I appreciate cultured people celebrating their culture. Okay. Just because someone didn't understand Spanish doesn't mean that it wasn't a good performance. So, moving along. So there were a lot of people on social media giving breakdowns, which I thought was great. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes some people don't want to be educated, they want to be entertained, and I get that. You have every right to want to be entertained. I get it, but you know what, we're in some serious times right now. So a little bit of entertainment with a whole lot of awareness being spread, I'm here for it. But that's just me personally. All right, so let's take a look and a listen to what this young lady had to say, breaking down Bad Bunny's performance and some of the symbolism in the performance. First of all, his set, when he opened and I seen the set, I was sold. I was like, I don't care what he do after that. That right there, showing a sugarcane plantation as an island girl myself, you got me, Bad Bunny. You had me at the sugarcane plantation. All right, let's take a look and a listen to this lady breaking down Bad Bunny's performance.
Specifically about the political references in this halftime show that really got me. So, starting off, we're in the sugarcane fields of Puerto Rico, just diving right into the historical context of colonialism in the Caribbean, the history of slavery in the Caribbean, the exploitation of our land and our natural resources for the economic gain of the empire. Now we're in New York City, Nueva York. And then Benito just waltzes up to go take a shot with who? Doñita. Who's Doñita? This is a real Puerto Rican woman who lives in Brooklyn and owns something called the Caribbean Social Club, which is one of the last standing Puerto Rican establishments in Williamsburg, which has been a hugely gentrified neighborhood of New York City, which was always traditionally Puerto Rican. She herself has almost been kicked out many times, but refuses to sell. She's an icon of fighting gentrification in Nueva York. Part of the show that hit us Boricuas the hardest, Ricky Martin.
I was shocked to see Ricky Martinez too. Those are not Ricky Martinez, Ricky Martin. So I don't know if this is copywritten. So those are the lyrics at the top. He looks great.
Martin from Puerto Rico just sang a Bad Bunny song saying, I don't want to happen to us. What happened to Hawaii? A blatant call for independence and sovereignty and decolonization of Puerto Rico. Then we go straight into this. Actually simulated the problems with our power grid in Puerto Rico, which is a direct consequence of us being a colony and the privatization of our power grid by the USA. Then Bad Bunny emerges from the fields carrying the Puerto Rican flag, but not just any Puerto Rican flag. This is the light blue
That was another thing that got me because I knew that that's the original color of the Puerto Rican flag. So when I saw this, I was like, this guy, man, he's really something.
Puerto Rican flag, which is the original colors. And this is the flag that they banned. And then we were only allowed to get our flag back when they changed it from light blue to that navy royal blue to match the blue in the American flag. But by waving this flag, this is our original flag, again referencing our own sovereignty. Mi patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí. And ending it with seguimos aquí, which means we're still here. Even though you're trying to colonize us and gentrify us out of our own island, seguimos aquí. I want to talk specifically about.
So I'm a big fan of storytelling, and I agree with this comment. It was such a master class in storytelling. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar last year. I just feel like Bad Bunny is a great performer. If you follow, you could just look up his career, even if you don't listen to his music. You can follow his career and see, how many shows he sold out, the size of the crowds, why he performs in Puerto Rico, what he does with the money from his concerts. He's a very cultured man, and he's very serious about his culture, and I respect that. So the storytelling, I respect it. I'm happy for him. He got this opportunity and he didn't waste it away. I get why people may feel like it wasn't entertaining. I guess it depends on what you consider entertaining. He wasn't jumping and flipping around. Like I said, I'm a stickler for storytelling when it comes to music and performance, and I think he did a stellar job. I think he did a phenomenal job. I think he was brave with his performance, very very brave, and I respect it. I respect it. Now, as far as the Chris Brown statement, I think that Chris Brown should continue to let other people sing his praises as it pertains to and request him to be a part of the NFL halftime show. I don't think he should have posted, it's obvious they need me, or whatever it is that he posted. He turned his comments off on his social media because people were going in on him. Um, People like Chris Brown as an artist, and people respect Chris Brown as an artist. So you didn't need to say anything, Christopher. You could have just let the people talk. Boosie just posted earlier last week, about you being at the super headlining the Super Bowl. So let other people sing your praises as it pertains to your musical talents. You didn't have to do that, because even if you were directing it at Jay-Z, it just looks like you trying to shade Bad Bunny, and it's just not necessary. So that's it. I mean, I guess it's just too much going on in the world, and sometimes we need to take a little bit of a break from the entertainment, because there's a lot of stuff distracting everybody nowadays. And I think, people being represented and people's stories being told, who are oftentimes not necessarily put on the back burner, but not necessarily in the forefront either. I'm all for that. So, shout out to every Puerto Rican who felt seen and who felt heard. Shout out to Bad Bunny. You looked amazing. And then there was a significance behind his outfit, too. I think the designer of his outfit is somebody, I think. I think it is somebody from Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot. I was looking at a video and then I started reading some stuff online, but I didn't incorporate that in the video. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I think he did a great job. The numbers are numbering. People are watching. Of course, people are criticizing. People are saying that they couldn't understand and uh Coco Jones shouldn't have sang "Lift Every Voice." You know them type of people. And quite frankly, I don't care. It is what it is. This is a diverse country, and if you still think that America is not a melting pot, then I feel so sorry for you because you are severely, severely uneducated. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Ain't got no more. I am signing off. I just wanted to come and do a quick recap of some hot topics for you guys. All right. So be sure to drop down in the comments, share your thoughts, like the video, all that good stuff. I am signing off, but I will be back. And I love you for watching, and I will talk to you later.